53 man that I came up with, or we came up with, is just what we believe out of camp. And it could be right or wrong. We're not Omar Khan, we're not Mike Tomlin, but this is what we believe here at Steelers Almighty, what the 53 man roster is going to be. Let's break this down real quick. Now, as far as the offense, we'll go offense to defense. Offense first. Quarterback, pretty simple. Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Kyle Allen. I know people like Plumlee, the rookie out of UCF, practice squad guy. No, no. If he even makes the practice squad, I would probably have Kyle Allen as a practice squad. Here's what I will say. If Kyle Allen is your third quarterback in your QB room, you have a good QB room, because Kyle Allen is not horrible. He is not horrible. I'm not saying he's a starter, but he could be a backup on a lot of football teams in the National Football League, and he's our third string guy. So the QB room, just think about the QB room last year compared to this year, people. Just think about that for a second. Lord have mercy. Isn't it just refreshing to just, hey, we got a chance? I'm not saying the guys are going to be, Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes or whoever. I'm not saying that. But when you have a chance, it just makes everything else better. We didn't really have that much of a chance last year. Some of it was Matt Canada, but some of it was who was actually in the quarterback room. So, baby hands Pickett. Just can't with that guy. Moving on, running backs. Pretty simple here. Najee Harris, Jaylen Warren, Cordell Patterson, and then Dewan Edwards, the undrafted running back out of Georgia. Georgia doesn't always feature because they usually play 2 or 3 running backs. I'd like him to make this team. I like him to make the team, and I'm not sure he's going to have a big role, but I'd like him to make the team. I do. Got to have 4 running backs. I like him to make the squad. Look, Najee, we know what him and Jaylen Warren are going to do. Cordell Patterson, obviously he's going to be in return game, but he might have some sort of role as, in the running back room. He may have some sort of role there, but I just like Dewan Edwards. I like him to make this squad. Now, here's where it got tricky for me. Fullback. Last year, we didn't have one. Previous 3 seasons, we had Derek Watt. But if you paid attention, how many 21 personnel sets did we run? Or 20 personnel? Or 23 personnel? How often were we in that? Not very often. So Derek Watt wasn't getting, if you're just talking about offensive snaps, it may have been 2 or 3 a game. Maybe. Well, Arthur Smith likes a fullback. So I've got Jack, and I believe it's Coletto. I've got him right now as the fullback making the roster. Now, we're not Omar Khan. We're not Mike Tomlin. They might overrule it and say, no, we don't want a fullback. But Arthur Smith traditionally has kept the fullback. Not that they've used them, because, again, if you pay attention, they have the fullback on the team, but they are a lot of 11 and 12 personnel in an Arthur Smith offense, which, again, that is not with a fullback. So who knows what they're going to do? Who knows? But for me, for right now, we're going to have them on there. Then we got wide receivers. We got 6 wide receivers. Pretty simple. George Pickens, Calvin Austin, Roman Wilson, Van Jefferson. I've got Scotty Miller making the team. And then I've got Quez Watkins making the team. 6 wideouts. You need 6, and I think they're going to keep 6. Quez Watkins. That last one, obviously, is going to come down to who can play special teams. Can any of those guys do it? We'll see. But that's who I believe is going to be on the team. Again, always set up for, will the Steelers go grab a receiver, during training camp, before training camp starts? Who knows what they'll do, but we'll find out. But that's who I've got right now as far as receivers. Tight end, Freiermuth, Washington. And I think the battle, look, Connor Hayward had a role last year. He did. But McCole Pruitt, I don't think they just brought him in here to do nothing. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, he's more of a blocker. We already got Darnell Washington. Why do we need another blocker? I just think it might be a battle between Hayward and Pruitt. Bring some competition in. Nothing wrong with competition. So whoever wins that battle, I think it's probably going to be Hayward, but who knows? So Offensive tackle, Broderick Jones, Troy Faetanu, excuse me, and Dan Moore Jr. I know there's been a lot of talk about, well, the Steelers may trade Dan Moore Jr. And as much as Steeler fans, and a lot of Steeler fans, I shouldn't speak for everybody, a lot of Steeler fans, look, we like Dan Moore Jr., but he can't be the starter. He just can't be. Even if they want to try to do that, no, Faetanu's got to win that job. We got to put him out there from day one. You're not trading Dan Moore unless somebody's willing to give you a third round pick. If they want to give you a third rounder, yeah, you go ahead and do it. As many starts as that guy has at left tackle, if somebody wants to grab him, that means they want him to come and play right now, then you got to pay a premium for that. And for me, and I'm pretty sure Omar Khan feels the same way, third rounder. Third rounder. You want to give us a third rounder, we'll come off Dan Moore Jr. If not, not happening. Not happening. So, then at guard, got 5 guards. Isaac Seumalo, James Daniels, Nate Herbig, who I know will back up at center as well, Mason McCormick, Spencer Anderson. Now, Dylan Cook, I know people are going to say, what happened there, B? I just don't know, man. I just don't know. A lot of other spots that we need. We got 5 guards. We got a backup center. I just don't know. There's going to be an odd man out, and I believe he's going to be the odd man out and may end up on the practice squad. That's what I believe. Center, we got Zach Frazier, and then I already mentioned Nate Herbig being the backup. So that is who I have for the offensive side. Let's take a look and see what we got and who's going to make the squad on the defense. All right. So first off, defensive line. I got a lot of them. And I think you got to have at least 8 off our defensive linemen. Cam Hayward, Keanu Benton, Larry Ogunjobi. Then I got Montravius Adams, Isaiah Loudermilk, Dean Lowry, Logan Lee. A lot of people think Logan Lee might be a practice squad guy. I've got him making the team. And then Brendan Fiahoko. Yeah, I like him. I'm sorry, DeMarvin Leal, I think he gets cut. I mean, if we're being honest, again, we love everybody. We want everybody to play well, but I want to win. I want the best competitive team. What has DeMarvin Leal shown us that says, yeah, we need to keep him on this team? I don't think he's shown us enough. We've got other guys. I think that's the way that the Steelers are going to go with their defensive line in the 2024 season. Outside linebacker, TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig. And then I've got a parentheses for a free agent because we know the Steelers like to have at least 4 outside linebackers. And the trick here, well, let me just break this down too. Patrick Queen, Peyton Wilson, and Elandon Roberts for inside linebackers. Now, you'll notice the person that's missing is Cole Holcomb. I think he's going to start out the season on PUP. Who knows when he comes back? We've already heard reports that he's not going to be ready for week 1. And I'm guessing if he's not going to be ready for week 1, how do they know that? Well, then he probably is not going to be ready for the first month of the season. Okay, fine. But that's why I have parentheses there, because if you keep Cole Holcomb and he's actually able to come back and play this year, can you use Peyton Wilson as a backup outside linebacker as well? I think that's what you do, because we saw it in college, what he can do coming off the edge. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, Brian, come on now. You've been screaming for Peyton Wilson to start at inside linebacker, and I have. I absolutely have. But if we've got other guys, if we need somebody to do something else and he's versatile, we've got Elandon Roberts. He can play there. I mean, they're going to be battling it out for that position anyway. And if Cole Holcomb is available, use your versatility to your advantage. Use it to your advantage. That's all I'm going to say. Now, does it mean we can't go out and sign a Marcus Golden? I think we probably could. Marcus Golden got signed late last year, came in and did an outstanding job. I'm sure he could come back, and hopefully he's in the same type of shape, can come back and do the same thing. So that's a spot. Just keep an eye on that outside linebacker position. I think the Steelers need 4. I only have 3, but I got a parentheses. We just covered the inside linebackers as well. So let's go to corner. Joey Porter Jr., Dante Jackson, Cam Sutton, Corey Trice Jr., Anthony Averett, and Darius Rush. I think those are the guys. I know a lot of people, Beanie Bishop. These are the guys that I think are going to be on the team. These are the guys. I don't think you go out and sign an Anthony Averett if he can't play, because here's what I believe. If he can't play, I think minicamp and OTAs would have shown you that, and then they just move on from him. Look, they just move on and just say, you know what, this is not the guy. Sorry, we got to move on. We got other guys in here. And I think you're giving him an opportunity. I think he ends up making the team. I really do. And I think Darius Rush ends up making the team. So those are the cornerbacks that I have. Now at safety, I think it becomes a little bit more questionable. And here's the reason why. Obviously, Mika and Deshaun Elliott. Then DeMonte Casey / Ryan Watts. I think that's the battle. And I know I talked about Anthony Averett earlier. I also think if Ryan Watts makes the team, I think Anthony Averett gets cut. I think he gets cut. He's the odd man out for me personally. Now, again, I know I just talked about him being the corner and beating somebody else out, but if Ryan Watts, he's super versatile. If he's able to play and make the squad, I think you keep that versatility. You get rid of Averett, and then you look to add somebody at another position on the roster. That's why being versatile in that role is so good, because I think Ryan Watts is a safety. That's his best position, but he can also play slot corner. I think he'll be fine there. I think he can excel there. So that's why you want the versatile guys in the secondary like that. And take a young guy if he shows the promise. So that's the battle. A lot of people are out there saying DeMonte Casey is not going to make this squad. If he can win this battle, I think he wins it. I just think, yeah, that's my personal opinion, but I think he's got to beat out Ryan Watts. If he can, great. If not, I'm not going to be overly upset that Ryan Watts wins that backup safety position. Just not going to be that upset with it. So then at long snapper, look, Christian Kuntz, great. I mean, what can you say? Here's the one, Cameron Johnston. Lord have mercy. Have the Steelers needed a punter? Oh my gosh. I don't even want to say his name because I'm afraid I'm going to jinx our punting game and it's just going to bring up more bad juju. I'm not even going to do it. But our punting has been pathetic for 3 years. Lord have mercy. Thank you for getting us a different punter. Thank you. So Cameron Johnston's that. And then we got one of the best place kickers in football, Chris Boswell. I mean, quiet as it's kept. And then I didn't mention Miles Killebrew. He's technically Miles Killebrew is a safety, but we all know he is our special teams guy. So that's the roster in a nutshell. That is the roster in a nutshell. Again, feel free to leave where you agree, disagree, all of that stuff in the comments on who you think the roster for the 2024 Pittsburgh Steelers is going to be.